Of the final cycle with a slight lead as that number one seed, again, pretty important, gets that invite to the World Finals there. So, anyways, looking forward to a good matchup here to say the least. Obviously, two great teams going at it. Of course, ECX just defeating Complexity to get to this point, 2-1. A great series as it was, but only one team could come through, of course, and it was ECX, so they get their rematch of what was in fact, yesterday. Of course, in the winter bracket finals when they played Sync, and they lost it 2-0, but that was that game number one, 75-minute match, crazy game. Definitely a lot of fun to watch that one there. So, anyways, I'm here ready to cast this one. I'm also going to be joined by a co-caster, and I am going to be joined by what you got of Complexity. So I want to say, first off, thank you for joining me. I know it might be a little rough, after a loss like that, but I do appreciate joining me as a co-caster here.
Yeah, it's no problem. Always glad to cast with you.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, was a good series, but you did fall just short there. I mean, hopefully at least you looking forward to watching some good Han here.
Yeah, definitely. ECX played really well today, and see if they can carry their momentum against Sync. Maybe get some revenge since they did get, I think it was 0-2'd yesterday by them. So I think they want blood.
Yeah, it's interesting how it was lapped on for the first cast in your series, and then obviously now with you on, it's safe to say, there's probably a little bit of bias going to be coming out, and that's completely understandable. I'm sure you don't want
just a tinge.
Sync to not get first here, get second. As we were kind of breaking down the points, I mean, that would mean they would be 200 still behind you guys, actually, so technically you guys still would be first. Now, I'll say this much about all that. Even looking at the math, even if Sync wins this cycle right here with you finishing third place, no matter what, you would have to finish above Sync in the end, and they would have to do the same to you. So that's really what it comes down to for cycle number 8 in the big picture there. So I think there's at least that to look forward to, that knowing that that's at least the case. You still control your own destiny.
Yeah, I like the way you say that. We control our destiny. Yeah. Not doing too well today, though, but
I know.
For future.
All right, well. Let's try to focus on the game now that we got coming at us here. Obviously, a draft well developed, so let's take a look at see what the bans and picks are, whatnot. Sandwraith, Warbeast, Parasite, and Midas are the bans. Ophelia into Lord Salforus, Behemoth into Arachna, and Prisoner coming out into a Luna here. So Salforus, obviously always a powerful jungle choice coming out for ECX on their side. What do you think? What do you think of the draft here so far? What you got?
I really like the shaping up of Sync's lineup so far. They have a lot of early game aggression. And ECX, they have the Salforus, which definitely wants to farm a lot early on, as well as the Arachno wants to kind of try to hold his lane and just kind of, get as much farm as he can as possible. So that's what I noticed so far. And also in our series, Ophelia did go undefeated, won both games, and I believe it was banned the third game. So
yes.
We'll see if the Ophelia factor can continue the trend.
Yeah, that was interesting to know. But also the Lord Salforus, I mean, going back to that, sure enough, happened to be 0-2 in the series, which was interesting.
Right.
Zlap was actually making the point, and obviously you can listen in while you're playing in it, but that he knew that you specifically maybe you haven't been playing a lot of Lord Salforus until just recently. Like, have you played a lot of it in tournament matches?
Bricky, I was the first one to play it on Huntcast. Way back, remember?
What am I saying? Yeah, I let Zlap
we
get
played
to
it,
me,
I
man.
think the very first time was against Fresh, back when Busk was playing Malik in almost every game.
That's so right.
And we brought that out as like a secret new strat back when Mini Maggot was casting. And it worked for us. And then he got some buffs, here and there, and then he just became this like really strong, powerful hero that's just good to pick up now, kind of just to have him. But yeah, he's just a good hero.
That's just funny how that works because
I've always played Salforus, so I don't know what the talk was about that, but
that's so true. Yeah, I don't know why that didn't hit me, when we were talking about it, and I was even like, I want to say we've seen it, but he was pretty adamant that you were kind of like just trying it out recently, and so I was like, what, it's lapped. He's a smart guy. He knows everything, right? So
maybe I didn't perform too well, so maybe that's why he thought that.
Well, it was actually before the match, to be fair, so
okay.
it wasn't even a judgment on that, to be honest, but
Okay,
Okay.
fair enough.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. All right. Well, anyways, enough about that. So, coming up for
Mm.
ECX over here. So yeah, we got the next pick here, a fourth pick, Prophet. They like the Prophet support actually does sync. So
Yeah, it's a great team fighting support hero. Synergizes really well. Has a heal to synergize along with the Ophelia, and just good AOE for when Behemoth jumps in. Gonna amplify the shockwave as well as the prison break. So fits their lineup pretty nicely.
mhm. See a fade, a pretty quick response from ECX. They're a team that kind of likes to run this every once in a while. Not a very popular hero on the scene, but an initiator that, in this case, ECX is going to run, and I have to think Matthias would probably end up playing it here.
Yeah, and they definitely still have the option of running a laning Self Forest. So that's not necessarily going to be a jungler just yet. Although I don't know who else other than Tankafet plays Self Forest. So it could still be a second support fade if they choose to run something like a tri lane.
Yeah.
Um, but I think we're most likely going to see him as a jungler since there's the Ophelia. But we'll have to see what ECX decides to do. And there is the final pick, Chronos. So again, going to synergize with the team fighting AoE centered lineup.
Yeah, they've actually done this a couple of times themselves this last cycle, and even the cycle before, I want to say. Sync's kind of been testing out this Chronos as a true carry even, so that was the last time he played. I want to say he even went like the early shield breaker too. I mean, do a lot of damage.
And one thing I do want to point out that many people viewing in might not know is that Lord Self Forest's Undying does go through the rewind, so Chronos will not be able to rewind when he has Undying applied to him. So the Prophet heals, the Ophelia's Touch, Astrolabe, all of that will be mitigated if Lord Self Forest can get his ulti onto Chronos, which is actually pretty significant because Chronos does thrive on being able to, a lot of the times, being able to get those rewind procs off.
At least a couple, yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
a really good point to bring up because that's
In the
that's a big
tooltip,
deal.
it does say heal, which by definition is how the Undying works. It stops heals, so it does work.
Interesting. Yeah, that's. I mean, if you would think that Sync would know that, but I guess that's not enough still to prevent them from picking up the hero by any means, knowing that that's the case. But yeah, no, that could be a big deal in team fights. How about that final pick, Deadlift, by the way? So sure enough, Zane is going to be playing the Self Forest.
Yep,
And
it's going to be a laning Self Forest.
on Deadlift. Yeah.
Deadlift is pretty decent. It kind of messes up Ophelia a lot if you can get the Undying. Then the Ophelia creeps just kind of sit there, and then you can't micro them and use their abilities. So as an Ophelia, it's kind of obnoxious to play against the Deadlift a little bit when he uses the Onslaught. So we'll have to keep an eye on that in team fights and whatnot. But yeah, it is going to be a jungle Deadlift and a laning Self Forest.
You see the aggressive right here from ECX. They're really controlling the Legion jungle. At least that's the idea from the beginning. Sync is a little
Or wait,
worried to fight.
Tankafet's top actually, so it's going to be a
Tri lane.
yeah, without the Deadlift. Deadlift's going to solo lane top, it looks like. Okay.
What the hell? So they're not running a jungler at all.
Yeah, they have boots on Fade, so he's going to be trying to put a lot of pressure onto the Ophelia and both lanes here. Interesting.
That is so weird. To pick two heroes that have a lot of, like, you would figure their jungle first over laning, and yet neither one of them jungles in the end. That is different, man. You got to think that's really going to throw off Sync a bit, too. In the beginning here, they obviously do send out Chronos bottom, and I mean, their lanes look like you would expect.
Yeah, and they're sending Prophet mid with the Prisoner, so they're just going to let Haxer get what he can here in the bottom lane and just hopefully just let him recover later and get Mickey the good start.
So Self Forest, yeah, already feeling the profit right here, but you see Self Forest can definitely trade some auto attacks and only has the passive currently, but once he gets that life tap especially, he's going to be able to stand his ground a little stronger. So if you're Sync here, I mean, this is how they set it up initially, but again, you got to wonder if they really were expecting this. Do you think there could be any obvious changing? I mean, Behemoth is already running towards mid, it looks like.
Yeah, I think they're really just going to be set on getting Prisoner his PK, and then with that, they'll look to create space. And there's going to be a hook on the Self Forest.
Yeah, that should be a kill. Zane, can he actually escape from this? He is level 2, so he has a life tap. Might come into play right here. That move speed, if anything, is like, okay, kill me, Ancients, please. Yes, they will
really
do
well
so.
played.
Then that's big, because that prevents the Bloodlust, obviously, from happening.
Yeah, and that's a lot of wasted time for Behemoth and Ophelia to not get that kill. So that's a really heads-up play by Zane to go over to the Ancients and die there.
Yeah. Now Behemoth makes his way back top, and because in the meantime, the tower's already being pretty heavily pressured. Now this is interesting. You see Tankafet pushing early, yet he doesn't have Onslaught. He did not put a foot in it.
Yeah, and he's ferrying out a Ring of the Teacher right now, so he's going to be able to apply even more pressure to this tower.
I gotta think if he had Onslaught right here, though, like this would already be even a dead tower, honestly. But
he could have it instead of the Grip, but the Grip allows him to play a little bit more offensively against the Behemoth, so he might skill Onslaught the next level.
Okay, so yeah, now it's going to push back. So yeah, the tower's not going to... I was worried that the tower was going to be in deny range there and it was going to even get denied, but no, now he's going to reset, get level 4, and probably, yeah, push it in. But interesting strat with that bottom lane. That was also interesting. Blocking kind of going on right there. They're trying to turn onto Arachna, but Ophelia's creep somewhat got in the way.
Yeah, there's an Invis rune on Prophet, and he's rotating bottom to try and set something up here.
He's coming with that Invis. Arachna. She doesn't even have any points in a Hardy Carapace, so won't have that to negate, and now, what am I saying? She does. I was looking at something else, actually. Okay, I guess she does. Or maybe she just leveled that right there, because actually I don't think she did. But anyways, she stays alive. Top tower, though, goes down in the meantime. Deadlift, sure enough, he did get Onslaught at level 4 here. And this is going to keep going, though. So, if you're Sync, can you defend this top lane here?
I think as of right now, they can't devote resources to stopping Deadlift. They're just going to have Behemoth get what he can as far as experience goes. And then maybe once he hits the level 6 mark, they can look to do some kind of a rotation to put a stop to Deadlift.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it's too early. They need levels on a lot of their heroes.
It's the early Shield of the 5 even. Interesting seeing that item this early on in the game. But, you know, Deadlift, I guess, is one of these kind of, for a hero that's just going to be mass pushing, makes sense that eventually into the Plated Greaves. Pretty strong for him to have.
Yeah, that is pretty different, but it's very early on to have that that armor aura on top of the Ring of the Teacher, so the creeps are going to have a lot of armor, and that could cause a lot of problems for Behemoth up here.
Right
South Forest kind of banned in the middle, and he's been juggling a little bit. That's something to note as well. So Mickey does have a free lane here in the middle lane.
Oh yeah, he's been benefiting from that. 350 gold per minute on the Prisoner. So yeah, it's kind of interesting how the teams are kind of letting those heroes that are farming pretty much farm in the end, trying to be satisfied with what they have going. But I mean, the charts right now say that ECX is actually having the better of this here with how it's currently shaping up. Is that something you would agree with?
Yeah, because Arachna is really controlling bottom, and Deadlift's really controlling top. So they're controlling 2 out of the 3 lanes right now. And in exchange, Sync's getting a lot into their Prisoner. Fade's going to get blocked here.
You will not escape
Really
this
deep.
time.
Yeah, he's in some trouble because of that. He's going to get the Burning Shadows off and ultimately be fine. In fact, the creep taking the tower hits and see the Death Grip coming out just in case. So, yeah, Fade getting a little aggressive there, but he's got those Striders, able to get some scouting out going, if anything. And yeah, the very early Ward of Sight here at the statue. In fact, both teams having a Ward of Sight at the statue at the top lane.
Yeah, and who was placed first? Looks like Legions was placed first. So they should know that there's a ward. They should know that Fade placed a ward there.
God, Behemoth is so good, though, against Deadlift and stopping this as much as possible. Every time Deadlift tries to use the Onslaught or gets that big creep going, obviously he just throws out a Fissure, and it completely stalls a lot of the damage, at least.
Yeah, and later on as the game progresses, when Deadlift has a lot of his creeps running around with him, it's going to amplify Behemoth's Shockwave quite a bit. So that's something to point out as well.
Ooh, Prophet's coming up here. They may want to try to make a play on a Deadlift or not. There's that rev for it, as you mentioned, though.
Yeah, so that's a good job by them. That'll make Deadlift feel a little bit less safe up here, especially now that Behemoth is level 6.
Oh, he's kind of trapped, actually. If Behemoth picked up... Oh, man, he missed out on an opportunity. Zibe, if he actually went up and just shockwaved right there, that could have definitely been a kill.
I'm actually pretty surprised that he didn't, but maybe he just felt that Deadlift was too tanky, because... I don't know. It just felt like he definitely could have if he wanted to.
Yeah, no, I think I mean, he even had support coming, so I don't know if he just didn't realize that or if they weren't communicative enough on that, but yeah, that feels like, and there's still no bloodlust, so that would have been extra big for that reason. But
maybe you were watching Complexity versus Fresh 13-minute, 14-minute Bloodlust.
yeah, that was.
Those are really exciting games for the players and the viewers, I would imagine.
I bet, yeah. No, as a player, that must be so thrilling.
Yeah.
You guys aren't as bad with that, I'll say that. You know, last season you were notorious for that. These long, drawn-out games, but definitely this season, it seems like that's changed a bit in just most cases. So, Fade, he's going to pour it out. Okay. Just a little bit of pressure there from Behemoth, but he goes away. Deadlift kind of transitions now into the jungle. He figures that top tower, Behemoth doing a little too good of a job of defending it that it's not worth really trying to break through it just yet. Gets the
middle lane, we could maybe see a grip. Let's see if Tankify goes for this. It's definitely in range. Yeah, he's going to go for it. Mickey's going. That's a heads-up play by Mickey.
That is smart. And he avoids the burning shadows. Well, I guess that's what we do.
That ward of sight in the mid hill might have actually spotted Deadlift going up there.
True.
It might have just barely caught him because it is nighttime. So I think that might have actually saved him.
Yeah. He
regardless, that was a really heads-up play to run right like that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, you know, seeing that he just runs down the river, but it made a lot of sense, especially with the nerf now to Death Grip. It's a little less range than it was before. So.
Thank God.
Yeah, I think.
And it's slower, I believe slower like chasing speed, so you can actually dodge it a bit.
Okay.
But thank God.
It might have been
hard
a little
dodge.
too strong, yeah, hence the nerf.
Yeah.
Oh, middle though. Double damage prisoner, and right away actually he pushes to the top lane, so they want to try to prevent, again, this big push from happening. He was setting up to gank middle. In fact, they are going to pull a Deadlift. Now again, he's pretty tanky here, but is he tanky enough? The question. Burning Shadows coming out, but the Prison Break pulling him right back in. All right, Zibe really wanted to make sure.
I think Zibe has had enough of Deadlift.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
To be fair, Zibe did get pretty low himself, and he just really was like, I don't want to die first.
Yeah, that's a fair point. He could have just felt for his own safety just to be sure.
Yeah.
But if that was me, I would have done it just because I hate Deadlift.
Whatever the reason, it happened, and honestly, it worked. I mean, they get a bloodlust kill. That's the important thing out of 9 minutes into the game, really. So that's good news. Zane is now doing some triple stack Ancients, as Self-Force does, but look at this. Oh, no. Ophelia's coming in. Going to steal at least one, a couple even, and going to possibly get the third. And now Self-Forces might be dead because of that. No, he's going to be just out of range, but they are going to take even the last Dragon Master right there. Now, you do see Complexity, or ECX, excuse me, trying to react to this. Oh, that's a big
nice
stun from Fade. Ophelia's in trouble. The Ophelia's touch is going to come out, though, however. Behemoth off to the side. He's waiting for the fissure. He finally uses it, and they do snipe out Fade, and Luna also dead. Here comes the Chronos Field now. Deadlift, though. I mean, we've said it before, saying many more times, he is tanky. He's able to kite for a bit right here. I mean, he still has more than half life even, and they cannot catch him, actually. What is going on in this fight? Arachna's now coming in. Behemoth, one auto attack away from death. He somehow gets away. Deadlift is still alive, in fact, and now he's turning this right now on a Prophet. Prophet's going to go down. Somebody TP'd out. Cronus is like, I'm going to leap out of here and somehow survive. That was an insane, chaotic fight there at the Ancients. I don't even know
holy crap, that was crazy.
I guess ECX. I mean,
I think ECX came out on top. But what I want to point out is I think what Tankifet was trying to do on the Deadlift was trying to, like, I call it S2, but S2 down the cliff. Like,
yeah.
he was trying to, like, box himself in, and Zlap did a nice job of, like, not positioning his Vagabonds so that he could do that. And then he survived for so long because of all the armor that he has, and there's just not enough physical damage coming out at this time, you know, from the Chronos and the surrounding cast. So he just survived for so long, and it bought so much time for the team support to come in, and he survived. That was really huge by Tankafet.
That was, yeah, I mean, obviously the items of what he has, it kind of makes sense. The Astrolabe, the Plate of Griefs, and the Ring of the Teacher. He is very difficult to kill right now at this time of the game especially. And he does have that Resurrection, so look forward to having plays from that. Ophelia, by the way, they're going to find her, and no way he's getting away from that. Death Grip even coming in just in case. Now he's using the minions. If he kills a Luna here, that'd be something. But no, he's not going to be able to. However, Behemoth coming in the flank. Prophet and Chronos also here. And they are going to take out Arachna. Make sure to kill those gravestones.
Prison break.
Do. Look at South Forest. Look at this, though. As he mentioned last time, South Forest is trying to S2 over the ledge, but Slap is like, no, I'm not going to give you that chance. He pearls and keeps away. And South Forest realizes he has to try to fight. He goes down in the end. Deadlift now being pulled in. Okay, we saw this before, but this time he's kind of by himself. But here comes Fate now. So maybe not. Prisoner, in fact, in some trouble. The onslaught onto him, and the Ophelia minions are beating him down. And down goes Prisoner, actually. Deadlift continuing to be on the run. Fade running out of there with a haste stream, but I think Deadlift is actually going to die here. As he's staying alive for so long. Unbelievable. He's still alive. Okay.
Space created.
Wow. I mean, yeah, there's got to be some kind of victory in there for Tankafet despite dying, but they do kill him, and it's actually a streak stopper, a 500 gold bonus, so that helps too.
Yeah, that was a nice kill. And now Behemoth, I believe, just got his portal key. Because he not only got that kill from 500 gold, but he also did get the Bloodlust. So that's a pretty early blink on the Behemoth, considering he was against the Deadlift 1v1. But I want to point something out. Does Onry always get haste? I feel like he does. It's insane. Like, we play against them, and I swear, they get, like, first 10 minutes of the game, they get, like, two haste runes. It's crazy.
I mean, we were talking about that actually when you pointed that out. It's the response to that is like that's what root control is about, right? I mean, if you want a chance to get that RNG, then that's where that's important. But it did seem like, I mean, no doubt, yeah, that series he was able to get that nice little haste rune there, the Z Freak rune, as it's even been referred to in the past. And
yeah, but haste runes or not, he's been hitting some very nice two-man stuns so far this game. So really well done. By Own Me on the Fade, definitely.
Yeah, on point here. I mean, only 170 gold per minute. He's level 7, so it's not like the stats not necessarily reflecting a pretty solid game, but overall, it's doing pretty well here for the team's sake. You see middle lane Prisoner getting death gripped right there, but no way that they're going in, especially with all that backup nearby. So they decided to play it safe. You mentioned Behemoth with that portal key. They're really trying to get that opportunity of making a surprise happen. I mean, because as you point, I mean, this is an early portal key. Even now, it wouldn't be surprised if ECX isn't aware of that. But they are not giving them a whole lot of chance here to make something happen. Arachna's farming away at the top lane. He does have the Assassin Shroud. So Imba Boy, 400 gold per minute here.
Yeah, and Mickey is actually about 100, about 200, a little under from his portal key. Could sell the shield and then only needs about 100. So he's going to have his blink in about a minute here. And then they're going to have 2 portal keys on top of the Chronos already being able to initiate with his leap. Who, by the way, he's actually done a really nice job himself. He hasn't died. And he's going to recover eventually. So he is above 200 now, GPM. But the most important thing is that he hasn't died at all yet this game.
Yeah. Chronos, he's not the most flash farming heroes without item, of course. He does kind of have a little bit of a farming tool with that passive, the Curse of Ages. That helps at least a little bit. But yeah, recovering can be difficult is the point. But yeah, as you mentioned, at least not dying is an important factor. But 225 gold per minute, definitely not the greatest right now. Middle lane, Lord South Force though, going to be pulled in. There's a shared fate. And you see a lot of the slow because of that, as well as all the damage coming out. South Force picked off. The Chronos go down in the background. Luna's the only one caught. Oh, Deadlift was trying to res right there onto Lord South Force in the midst of it, but Sync did a good job. They killed the gravestone, as they should have, and they pull in Arachna, who is trying to escape, and she goes down as well. So far, Sync Esports dominating this fight, as it's 3-0. It's going to be a 4-0 at this rate, unless Fade, okay, he activated the Invis, actually. And they currently do not have any detection, so he will survive. So it ends up a 3-0 with the tower kill, though. Hell of a fight for them. That hook on Arachna, absolutely huge, of course.
Yeah, just some really nice coordination by Sync. Getting the first kill onto South Forest, a nice shared fate, into a Chronosphere that kind of messed up a little bit of the pathing for the follow-up. And then Sync just took it from there. A really nice Rev Void to get the kill on Arachna. Just really nice team play overall by them. And with that tower kill, now Ophelia picks up her Astrolabe. And this is going to start a lot of momentum for Sync, I feel. And it's also created a lot of space now for Chronos. So it's looking very, very good for Sync.
What do you expect Kronos to get? Still go that Rune Cleaver, you think?
I think it really depends on whether Sync wants to just keep fighting. He could go the farming route if he wants to. However, I feel like he's going to go some kind of an aggressive build, something like... I don't know if he's going to necessarily go Elder Parasite first item, but I feel like eventually he's going to get that.
Yeah? Okay.
And, yeah, to be honest, I'm not really sure. He goes for the Firebrand, so
All right.
that tells me that he wants to continue farming.
Yeah, there's been a lot of... Go ahead.
The thing about Chronos is he is a very, very hard carry, and it does take him a lot of time to where you start noticing his damage output in fights, so... I'm fine with him going the farming route. I think it's kind of the hero more than anything. He just really needs a lot of items to be a true hard carry.
Oh, middle lane. Or not middle lane, the jungle even. Luna, he's dead right here. Despite missing the hook, didn't matter. Enough of a slow on him. And the minions to help secure that kill. So Luna really far up there. He did kind of have teammates nearby, which is why he just happened to be caught as the rest were running away, of course. So. Yeah, no, I agree with you, though. Kronos is kind of one of those interesting heroes. It's like yes and no, right? Because at the same time, we used to see him even in that Suicide role really purely as that initiator for the double ultimate or the Resto Stone. And then you even mentioned the idea of something like an Elder Parasite, which he can kind of be that, get the Kronos to lock, be like an anti-carry almost, so.
And I think the reason we're going to see him, I think he's going to go straight into Geos here, and the reason for that is that he can get out of the death grip from deadlift, as well as he can pop the Geos and then kill the spider from Arachna. So it has a lot of uses, this game. Initiation onto Prophet.
Yep, Prophet going down, but actually gets that shared fate off on top of the Kronos field. Look at Arachna. Well, he's no longer there. Gets killed pretty quickly. Deadlift dead as well. Double tap for Axerin, man. However, it's not done just yet. Lord Salforus trying to make some turns. Buybacks from ECX. And they want to fight back strong. Lord Salforus going to stay alive in the background. And here they come in return. The web shots hitting. The spider sting. Oh, the timing right there. Prisoner actually portal keyed at the split second. The spider's still chasing him, though. But now Chronos coming back. And this is he buys back on top of it as well. They kill the gravestones. Chronos trying to help chase now. Back who is still left. Deadlift, he's too tanky. You got to go for others. Fade being that target. And Fade will go down. But now Prisoner, he's surrounded. The onslaught onto him. He's taking so much damage from everything, really. And I don't think he's getting out of there. In fact, Aluna cuts him off to secure the kill. But Chronos still going. One more auto attack. Can he get it? It looks like it. Yep, he's going to chase down Aluna, secure that kill. Death Grip, can he hit Behemoth? Of course he can. However, Chronos and the minions locking down Deadlift and preventing him from securing the kill. Onto that Behemoth right there. So now Deadlift will have to fall back as he is the sole survivor. And Chronos, though, he wants this kill, but again, we saw what happened earlier. In fact, now Prophet has to run as all of a sudden Deadlift's going back after him. These couple of fights that we're seeing in this game, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, there was a lot of buybacks there. Actually, Arachna and I believe Deadlift bought back.
Yeah.
Arachna did die twice. And Chronos, obviously, as you pointed out, did buy back. And he actually got quite a lot of kills from that buyback.
Wow, there we go too, though. Arachna coming in and securing the kill. But yeah, I mean, I was actually going to mention that, but the fight even kept going on. But yeah, look at Chronos with that buyback even 8-1-4, and we're apparently not done yet. It's bottom wars down here. Arachna going to get pulled in on top of the Fissure, and he will go down yet again. So Imba Boys died 3 times in the matter of a minute, it feels like, at this bottom fight. He is going to be res, though, by the way, as Deadlift brings him back up. So now Behemoth on the run. Behemoth has a Gnome's Wisdom, by the way, that he just got right here, trying to help him survive at least, but unfortunately not going to happen. Lord South 4 is still taking the tower, but no, he's going to be fine. And now ECX winning this fight. The res on Imba Boy. I mean, he's died 3 times in like a minute and a half, yet ECX comes out on top of it in the end somehow.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know. The action's just crazy this game.
Yeah. What the hell's going
That's
on?
deadlift for you, though.
That res ability. I love the new charge system. It really, like, he got nerfed on the death grip, but his resurrection now is actually pretty awesome for the hero.
Yeah, being able to use it twice is pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's like having 2 free tokens, right?
Essentially, it's
Something like that. They do respawn out, what is it, like half,
kind of like that.
50, 60, 70%. Okay.
Okay, what the hell's going on? So we got to know, there's plenty to look at here after all of that happening. I want to start with the Gnome's Wisdom on Behemoth. Where did that come from? Do you think that was actually a good choice here?
I'm trying to think. I mean, it applies the healing shield in an aura, but Self-Forest is going to ulti Chronos anyway, so he's... I mean, it's going to benefit everybody that's not Self-Forest ultied, so it's still good. But, I guess because of how much they've been fighting, they just want, like, as many team items as possible. So, in all honesty, I'm not against it. It is a little bit different, but I think it's perfectly fine.
I've been stressing I love the new Gnome's Wisdom, but can't stress that because we got another fight yet breaking out again. Prisoner picked off right off the bat, but there's that Chronos field yet again. Lord South4 is falling. Arachna in the midst of it. She is able to assassin shot away, though, this time and survive, and that could be the biggest difference. The Ophelia's touch trying to save Behemoth, not going to happen. He goes down, but the big shared fate, and Arachna dies shortly after. Chronos chasing. He's going to get the Kona Luna. That amp damage as well, you can see working right there. And a double tap for Haxor, and Chronos is 10-1-6. In this game right now. That is just, to be 10-1-6 and only 375 gold per minute, man, I mean, he's not really been able to farm much, but hero kills are working just plenty and just fine for Chronos apparently, as now he does have a Geometer Span here in this game.
Team fighting has been the name of the game, and I mean, Sync will take it. They drafted to team fight, so they're definitely playing to their strengths by forcing these fights.
Yeah. That's, I mean, I guess the Hellborn team, yeah, they didn't really drive. They're more of a pick-off team, aren't they? So, just happens to be.
They're in between. They're in between like a pick-off and a team fighting team. There's not really many team fighting heroes, but yeah, I mean, they're more of a pick-off team.
Yeah. Arachna, despite her dying 6 times now, I mean, she's still able to have 370 gold per minute, but again, using a buyback worth. The fact both carries have used a buyback, which is just crazy as well. It's only 24 minutes into this game. But the actions, it's unbelievable. This is the grand finals of Cycle 7, and it's just go, go, go here. They do not want to stop. Red stun onto Prisoner, 5 seconds. He's locked down this whole beginning of the fight. Now they're going to go on him, but again, the shared fate, the Behemoth ultimate, and the turn chance for the Legion side. Prisoner still alive. In fact, he finally goes down. But again, Arachna forced to run pretty early on. However, she will survive this time. Chronos in pursuit, but he can't stay close enough. He goes down.
Oh, that's a big
or,
stun.
he can't, I should say. Anyways, Arachna staying alive the whole time. Lord South4 the only one to stay in, and now it's just Chronos. And he's going to time lead the Chronos. Oh, he missed though on Arachna. He was hoping to maybe get a kill and get out possibly, but now he's in a lot of trouble. And I think Chronos is going to fall as well. He has a power supply, doesn't matter. Genocide for ECX. These are the most absurd grand final match. I mean, we only had one, but geez, this is crazy.
Yeah, so Deadlift rezzed Fade there, and Fade got a really nice 2-man stun again. Zombie's just on top of these stuns.
14
And
assists.
I believe the Ophelia's touch was on cooldown for that entire fight, so they didn't have the heal. And I don't want to say that was the difference maker, but it definitely played a part. So the Deadlift res was definitely significant, as well as Ophelia's ulti not available.
Gosh, crazy, crazy stuff. And what is going on over here? Near. Interesting.
He's just warding.
Okay, well, figures, okay, whatever. I died. Whatever. He unfortunately plays so much. Now, this is it, because there's 2 Ward of Revs here. But unless they go over here, they won't know that. And they're actually both wearing off. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, yeah. Oh, right as he's walking over. That's pretty good.
Near was role-playing love and just walking into fog and feeding.
Yeah. That happens a bit, I feel like, yeah.
Yep, typical supports.
So good.
Just dying to get vision up.
Gnome's Wisdom now on deadlift, man. So both teams, I mean, when you're fighting this much, you kind of feels like you should have that item. Especially.
Yeah.
So.
And It gives them magic armor now, which it's pretty nice against the Behemoth and the Prophet.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, honestly, that's what I was thinking with it, because with the
Yeah.
change, that being, I think, the biggest part of it. Again, that stacks with Mystic Vestments, so you don't need to worry about, not wanting to have that or whatever. You want that still, so good to see for that sake. Middle lane.
Fade ulti has a haste in his bottle. Fade's gonna go looking for somebody.
Nothing at the top currently. This top tower is still alive. I find that pretty interesting how, again, Deadlift was pushing it really early on in the game.
Yeah, it's almost like they forgot about it.
Yeah.
We have mass TPs coming here.
Yeah, he gets the Hardy Carapace, but it might not matter. Nope. Even if he somehow started to get away there, there was the dust, so.
You will not escape this
Catch
time.
coming out from Sync Esports. And, when there's so many kills in the game, though, it's like, is that really a big deal? I don't know. I mean, he doesn't have a buyback, and obviously that keeps him slowed down here. So it's still an important kill.
Ooh, they just missed the deny.
Yeah.
That was close.
They're trying to chase. Deadlift? No.
Yeah, I think they saw his creeps. And it kind of sucks as a Deadlift player. Like, you can't turn those off or stop them. So, I mean, if they see him, they kind of know where Deadlift is.
Running after him, but yeah, he's still running here. He is going to be fine, though. Over here, Fade is trying to find somebody with that Haste Rune once again. No longer Invis. Invis is coming up, but...
He sees Behemoth, but he doesn't have any team support.
No. No, that towards bottom now. But yeah, he's level 14, and that's a pretty big deal. Fade, one of these heroes, definitely, that ultimate, very impactful to level up. Because of the downtime of the in-between. So at level 3, it's like... It's very short downtime, essentially.
Yeah, when you hit level 11 on Fade and you have the level 2, you really feel the difference from level 1.
Yeah.
And the same goes for level 3. The level 3, it feels like you always have it. So, it's just really nice when you're playing Fade. It has such a nice feel. Hitting level 11 and then hitting level 16.
That was interesting right there. Aluna's power throw ended up missing Behemoth, so actually Fade realized, okay, it's not worth... I mean, he opened, but then with that missing, he just ran away immediately. But Ophelia's touch was still used, actually, despite Behemoth not even really being that close to dying. So they got a cooldown out of it, and I think that's still a victory for ECX, a minor one. But knowing that,
yeah, definitely a little minor one.
Where's Kronos going next? He has the Mighty Blade, so
Looks
I guess
like
Shrunken?
Shrunken Head, I guess. There is a fair amount of stuns he has to deal with. The Aluna Red stun, the Fade Burning, Shadows. It will stop South Forest from using the Morris Certissima on him, which is a 4-second cooldown. So, that's a lot of magic damage that he doesn't have to deal with. So Shrunken Head is pretty, even though he is against an Arachna, it is pretty good to still have a Shrunken Head.
Fade once again, getting some information for the team, if anything. Seeing about possibly, there's that rev ward, so.
And a Bound Eye now picked up on Ophelia.
Oh, yeah.
He sees the eye, so he's not going to move out.
Okay. Oh my gosh, Zibe going in. Look at that reaction of Zibe. Immediate go.
I swear, he was like just barely in vision of their reveal.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's all it took.
Good job by Zibe, more so to, again, just react as quick as he did. Get the jump, so successful kill for them, and obviously the team fights have kind of slowed down a little bit, but uh-oh, Lord's all Forest now. He has Tablet as well as a Shrunken. It's not going to matter, though. Way too much damage. And he goes down. So the pickoff slowly happening for Sync, and they'll take it. But, I mean, the gold lead is actually still in favor of ECX. 4,100 gold lead right now. Overall, at least.
Yeah, and they should be able to get this tier 1 bottom now. Depends on whether they feel... Actually, they don't feel safe committing to it.
They only have one tower kill so far. It's 30 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty crazy. Because
yeah, ECX has done a really good job of bringing the fight to Sync, even though Sync has been coming out on top of quite a few fights. They've been pretty back and forth, so the game's pretty even. But yeah, the one tower kill is pretty I think we're not used to seeing Zlapt only taking one tower, playing his signature hero.
That is interesting for sure, but 26 hero kills almost kind of makes up for that, you could say. And then there's the
For one team, there's still the other 19.
yeah, exactly. That's what it's. What is that? 45 hero kills in total. So
Yeah, Kongor. This should be a dead Kongor. So Arachna's gonna get a token here.
and she got that shrunken recently, so good to have here. There we go. Definitely.
Yeah, I'd like to see. I think Deadlift's gonna go for a full demonic here. I'd like to see somebody pick up a Cyclone on Hellborn, so that way when Arachna gets Chronosphered, they can save her.
Yeah, I think Chronosphere is definitely one of those abilities.
Tablets
or a
and
Storm
Cyclones are so good against Chronos.
Yeah.
Just being able to kite the Chronos, delay the time of the Chrono Field, and then buy your carry enough time so that he can start auto attacking back.
And boy, looking for an opportunity right here. He's got the token, a shrunken, so trying to see if he can maybe find especially the Chronos, but not going to happen, it looks like. Him and Fade hunting the Legion jungle, but Sync's avoiding it. They want to push those towers now, get those objectives. Top lane, that's basically dead right here, so just jump up and kill it. Should be able to. Yeah, I want to reiterate. I think you were kind of getting to that point too, but just to really stress that the Geometer's ban on Chronos, the illusions do actually proc the stun, and it actually will stun you. So you can get some pretty extra nice lockdown having those illusions of Chronos.
Yeah, there's so much lockdown already from the supporting cast as well as the Chrono Field. So lockdown, I don't think is
Concern,
any concern for Legion side at all. It's all about whether they have the damage to kill heroes fast enough.
Well, Sync's finally getting towers now. They keep going top lane.
Yeah. Ophelia does have a TP on her, but obviously her minions are one of the bigger things, so ECX has a decision here whether they want to keep going and force base with the token or whether they want to fall back.
Looks like they're going the fallback route. A couple of port backs, and yeah, they're all out of here. But as you mentioned, the minions now.
Arachna's going to run straight into them, so those are dead.
Yep, he ported back one, or
He sent Chronos
he
back.
sent Chronos back actually.
Yeah.
So I guess he just only had two there. Yeah, they both die.
Yeah, it sucks playing Ophelia when your creeps constantly die, because it's always like you have to spend those 1 or 2 minutes just trying to get them back.
Yeah, the right creeps especially.
Yeah.
Which in my mind are the Wolf Commanders, Ice Ogre.
Ice Ogre and Snotter Boss.
And the Snotter Boss, exactly. You've been listening. I like it.
Oh yeah. One time I took over a Snotter and I said, "Breaky, look at my creeps."
I probably
had it.
noticed.
Yeah.
I probably noticed. That's awesome.
I was like, "Guys, I'm moving really fast."
10% move speed, Aura. You know, it's
Auras
interesting.
are no joke.
It's
You don't mess around with Aura's late game, especially Wolf Commander. That thing is, if it stays alive, that's a lot of extra damage.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, here we are.
Oh, yeah.
They got plenty of lockdown.
Same thing with the Ice Ogres. It's like, I'm gonna be stupid here. I think it's 8 armor that you get from the Ice Ogre, and that's a lot. I mean, against an Arachna, you know, that mitigates a lot of damage. 8 armor is a lot of armor.
I love what he's doing here. Not only does he get a Wolf Commander, but he literally just tells it to follow Chronos.
I do that too. It's pretty funny actually that you point that out. I go here for him. Let's have some damage, and then it just follows him.
It's 30% base damage.
And then he
There you
gets
go,
mad at
Chronos.
me. He goes, "Get this thing off."
It's like in the way and stuff. Look at he's blocked right now. Yeah, he can't even move. Okay, you can really get out of there. Oh, anyways, big fight coming out. Enough about that right there. Pulling on a deadlift. Arachna, though, jumping in the front line. However, the Chronos field is going to keep him close by as the pull-in from Prison Break also happens. Arachna all of a sudden kind of by himself. Again, he has a token. Behemoth and Ophelia are picked off, though. Chronos still at full life. Is going to secure the kill on Arachna, but now the Undying. No, Arachna stays alive, actually. Chronos goes down. Somehow Arachna lived. I thought for sure he was going to die, and they clean up. Does ECX, in fact, trying to hunt down the prisoner even, but he did get away. But did anybody die? Oh, Tankafed pot back, actually.
I think Arachna's going to try to die to the tower. I think he maybe should. Since he only has 30 seconds left and he's this low, There's a
Absolutely, yeah.
buyback on Haxorn available, as well as Mickey has one if he does die. But yeah, see, he's gonna go straight. Yeah, this is smart by Imbu Boy. I like that.
It's either do this or just don't push at all. So clearly
Yeah,
they are
definitely.
going to be pushing, and so yeah, just do that. Get back up. There we go.
Oh, and he gets a DD from Fade. Oh,
Well, that's
such good
convenient.
timing.
Yeah,
Only gets the best runes, I swear.
he's a good player.
Has to be.
All that comes down to. Yeah, no, that's. I mean, they probably would have had it anyways, but the double damage just made it a case of yeah, you do not want to fight into that. So good. Good. The team fight though, of course, is what really leads into all of that there for ECX. Sync, they jumped in. So, I mean, despite Sync, having this really strong team fight, I don't know if Kronos is honestly, like, in fact, what do the damage charts say? Yeah, 10%, I mean, you wouldn't expect it to be really high at this point in the game, I guess, but
Yeah, he has essentially 2 defensive items because Geometer's Bane isn't really an offensive item. You get it more so for the split pushing and the effect of the disjoint. So, I mean, it does give agility and whatnot, but it's not, you can't compare Geometer's Bane to like, a damage item like a wing bow, rift shards, that kind of stuff. So, in a sense, he does have 2 defensive items, and he is only hitting for 170 plus his bash proc.
yeah.
So he's not really that scary yet. And even when he's feared the Arachna doesn't have high armor himself outside of the auras. He wasn't taking very much damage from Kronos. And it was very noticeable that Kronos wasn't dealing a lot of damage.
Behemoth, he's hunting, and this could actually be a big kill on Arachna if they find her. Oh, never mind. I thought more was coming, actually, but
Oh, he might.
there you go. He pops it. Oh,
I saw that coming.
no!
That's so unfortunate.
Can't blame him, but
There's literally no reason for him to believe that's an illusion.
Yeah.
So you can't fault him at all.
no, you're right. Imboy just happened to be scouting at that time with them, and sure enough, that happens. Look at Fade all the way down here, by the way. Okay, well, he's going to instead go middle, or see the. He's going to just set up in the base, really, as they are.
Guess what rune on me has?
Is it a haste?
I'm sorry, I just have to put it out. It's just so funny.
It is a haste.
And he's gonna get tornadoed.
Oh, well, no, they're sending that
Not
out. Again. They don't
anymore.
know he's there, so
Get back here.
he's hiding pretty well, actually. Oh, he says it's too much, though. He's going to portal key. Does have another invis in 5 seconds, so that's what we're talking about. It's only a 10-second downtime window. Or, yeah, downtime of the cooldown, so there we go. Back up. If he wants to use it. Did I just... Yes, he kept... I thought he sold it, actually, but no, Mickey does buy an Elder Parasite to go with the shrunken portal.
Look at that onslaught damage. Wow. Power just melts.
Yep. No longer there. Barrier idle on Slap, so another defensive tool there to kind of help with all these team fights breaking out.
Yeah.
No Storm Spirit still. There we go.
Kronos
Kronos
goes in.
jumping in. Deadlift the target. I don't know about that. In fact, Kronos, see, okay, those are illusions. Anyway, Sheriff into the background. Prisoner's going to go down. Elder Parasite not doing a whole lot right there for him. Unfortunately, Prophet goes down as well. Prisoner does buy back. Behemoth now jumping in the midst of it again. He doesn't have a shockwave. It is still on cooldown. Arachna being locked on. Genjiro, it's going to be enough to help keep him alive for now. The hook missed, actually. Arachna trying to cut away. The tablet, the turnaround, and down goes Kronos. The teamwork was on point. And, oh my God, Imboy's going to live, and game 1 will go to Evil Corporation. Wow, that Arachna at the end, man. They tried so hard to kill her, but she just would not fall down, and that's due to great team support, honestly. Well played by ECX.
Yeah, definitely well played by ACX. Very nice game number 1. But to be honest, it looked kind of like Sync was on different pages, whether they wanted